Oh, okay.
She's a sunrise dressed like dusk. Going out, she's getting into something.
I just sat in my car for the last 2 hours trying to catch the sun and create this beautiful video about saving $1,000, and I realized that it was just too long, so I'm starting over. This is the second time I'm doing this. I am going to tell you how I saved $1,000 on a minimum wage income. I'm going to keep this very simple. I think that these are easy practices for everyone to do. I really do not like the finance community on YouTube where they kind of make things very particular. You have to track every single expense, and a lot of people do great with that type of thing where you're constantly tracking every single dollar that you spend. I hate that. I want to enjoy my money. I cannot live like that. So this is a very simplistic way of how I saved my money without being too hard on myself. So if you're looking for something like that, I definitely have that for you. But first, hi, my name is Janae. I am a 20-something-year-old living in New York City. I am trying to figure it all out by traveling more, committing myself to personal development, and creating financial freedom. So if you resonate with that, or if any videos on my channel resonates with you, I please urge you to subscribe and join this very dysfunctional community that I am trying to create. And here we go. So my first tip for you is to separate accounts. You should not have your saving and your spending in the same place. I used to think that this was a very complicated process that only older people with money do, where they separate different accounts and have different checking accounts, but it's actually very simple. I use Chase and Citibank. I have my primary card that I spend all of my money on, and then you could also use the mobile app or online to transfer money in and out. I have 3 accounts. I have one for saving, one for my debts and bills, and then one for my spending. But also for me, a checking account is a little bit too accessible when it came on to my $10,000 goal. It's not just about $1,000 for me. I'm trying to reach 10,000. So I put that goal and that savings account into an app called Capital. So separating your accounts is super, super important. For me, it helps me just separate what I can spend, what I have to pay, and what I'm saving for. It's very hard to build your wealth when you are looking at all of your money in one place. I personally think so. There are a lot of saving apps out there, but I've been using Capital for the last 2 years. That's what I've been using to save for my $10,000 goal and how I reached my $1,000 goal in the last 2 months. My earring came out. Wait, hold on. My earring. Wait. I have to fix my earring. Are we back? We're ready? Okay. So I'm not going to get too deep into Capital, but it is a great app if you want to check that out for saving. There's a lot of saving apps out there. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. My next tip for you is weekly consistency. It's really hard when you are living paycheck to paycheck to know exactly how much you can give to your savings goals, especially when you're part-time or on a minimum wage where you have like small amounts of money to work with. So what I do is kind of just average out how much I get paid on a weekly and bi-weekly basis. For me, I get paid on an average of $270 a week. That's how much I get paid. I live in New York City. My minimum wage is $15. I actually get paid $16 an hour, so just $1 above the minimum wage. And I'm a stylist at a store in Fifth Avenue. So that explains that. But I make an average of $270 a week. Sometimes I make just a little bit less than that, around $240. Or there's been weeks where I've hit $400 with them during the holidays. I made a lot of money during peak season. So, but my average that I know that I will always be around is $270 to to sometimes mostly $300. Like that's where I'm at. So I know that I can always, no matter what, give at least $50, and sometimes I even do $100 to my savings goal. So when I looked back at my capital account, I always put in at least $50 or $100. If I felt like giving a little bit more, I did that, but my bare minimum was $50. So find your bare minimum of how much you can give and always stick to that. Do not change that. You always put your $50 or your whatever your bare minimum is, okay? Okay. My third tip is called the what I can give practice. I completely made that up. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, or if people have a real name for it, but I call it the what I can give practice. So basically what I'm doing is looking at my account on a weekly, daily, sometimes twice a day basis, just to look at where I'm at with my money. And I think to myself, what else could I give to my goal today? How am I feeling today? Do I want to give an extra $5? Do I want to give an extra $100? For me, that helped me get to my goal much, much faster, because if I'm only giving my regular $50 a week, yes, I'm going to get to my $1,000 goal, but it's going to take me a much longer time to get there. So what really helped me get to the goal faster was just checking my account once in a while and saying, you know what, today I'm going to give an extra $20 to my goal, or I'm going to give an extra $100 because I didn't do a lot of spending this week and I can give away this $100. I'm gonna get paid next week, so it's gonna be fine. You know, like that was kind of my thought process. Just what can I do today that I'm comfortable with to get to my goal faster. My third tip is to have a financial journal. Not everyone has to do this, but for me, kind of just writing down and expressing how I felt about my financial journey, the struggles, the accomplishments, all of those ups and downs, it really did help me become more conscious of my spending and how I was doing overall. I have a book specifically just for my finances and money. It's a journal where I just talk about money, how I feel about it, what my dreams are, how I've been doing this week, how I did for the month, you know, it's just things like that. You don't have to do that, but it did help me. And my last tip is to just do not set a date. You do not need to rush this process, especially with your first $1,000. I feel like you need to go through the motions and really learn a little bit about yourself, how you spend, what you don't want to spend on anymore, how much you gave, what more can you do to make the process happen faster. It's kind of just like you kind of winging it and learning as you go. Do not rush your process when it comes on to finally sitting down and building your wealth. This first $1,000 is a big, important step, and I feel like you really should not set a date or rush the process. And it will happen for you if you just stay consistent and just stick to the goal and stay focused. Also, what I noticed right after, let me just run down a little bit about dates and times of how I saved my $1,000. I first started saving on October 1st, and I get paid weekly, and I reached the goal on December 17th. So it took me, I don't know how many weeks that is, but it took me about 2.5 months to finally reach the goal. I think I could have done it faster. Now that I have gotten to the goal, I realized that I could have put a little bit more money aside and gotten to that goal much faster than I did. Again, that's why I didn't put a date on it. It's a learning process. And what I've also noticed is that now that I have reached that goal, my next goal of $2,000 is actually happening faster than the $1,000 happened. Now I'm getting used to what it's like to put money aside. Now I'm getting used to what I know I have to do to get to my goal. Now that I've saved that first $1,000, it's becoming more fun for me. I'm more relaxed and more ready to put money aside to get to that next $2,000 goal. I think in the beginning I was very hesitant because I was like, what if I need this? I don't know. And it's really like that when you first start saving. It's kind of like you feel like you're giving your money away and you don't know if you're going to need it, but you have to release your attachment to this thing, this material thing, and just let it sit and grow. My $2,000 goal has happened tremendously faster. I'm around 1,500 now, and it's been only 4 weeks since December 17th. So I say this all to say that the first 1,000 is the hardest, and it just gets faster and easier from there. So yeah, those are my tips. I want to keep this super simple. Saving this way has been a very chill process for me. I've tried to do the whole budgeting thing. It just doesn't work for me, and I think that if there are people out there that cannot track every single expense, so I found a very minimalistic way that works for me, staying consistent and just enjoying the ride, just letting it happen for myself. Just to do a very quick review, you want to separate your accounts. You want to have a weekly consistency, that one amount that you know you will always put into your savings account. You want to have the what I can give practice, which is just looking at your account on a daily basis and saying, what can I give more to my goal, whether it's $1 to $50 to $200, whatever that amount is for you, whatever you feel comfortable with. Also having a financial journal, if that resonates with you. Not everyone has to do it, but that did help me kind of just express how I felt about my money and everything that was going on with that. And finally, just do not set a date, let it happen, let it flow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you if you are still here. I really do appreciate it. I will get better at this, so just stick with me, okay? Like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Start saving, people. You're gonna do great. It's gonna be fine. Everything's good.